what you say is not as important as the feedback that you get. Welcome to another interesting episode of Young and Winning. Today, I'm going to be teaching you on effective communication. You're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you are a CEO, you are a pastor, whatever it is that you do, communication is key. And for you to be able to pass the idea that is in your head across to people, you must be able to carefully choose your words and capture them very precisely, concisely, and succinctly in a way that even a layman can understand it at a glance. Now, to be able to communicate effectively, you must understand that communication is a dialogue, not a monologue. In other words, what you say is not as important as the feedback that you get. So every effective communication ends with the feedback. So the feedback is what confirms to you whether or not your communication was effective. So don't just use phoneme or bite your tongue and then just twist and say you're communicating. You are not communicating. You know, somebody may actually be nodding their head, but they are not, in actual sense, they are not even understanding a bit of whatever it is you're saying. So, and there are two ways to actually make your communication simplified. You can use verbal cues and non-verbal cues. Non-verbal cues, maybe if you're talking personally, maybe like interpersonal communication, you're using gesticulation and all these physical responses that will pass or drive home your message. But if you're using verbal cues, regardless of the language you're using, make sure that you use very simple tenses. You don't have to use colloquial, whatever, big or ambiguous sentences to make a statement. You are not in a language competition. Understand that you're passing a message. And your goal is that your audience and your listener should get the message at a glance. And this is what makes the difference. So master effective communication and then watch and see how your brand will, gravitate very spontaneously. And this is what most entrepreneurs don't know. You go to places. Remember one guy that represented Edo State in House of Representatives? That young man was, I don't know where he got his language. What was his name again? He will get the floor and then he's just talking and using syntaxes and different statements that even his colleagues are confused. Even with dictionary, you cannot understand. And then I remember, of course, that guy didn't return, for his second tenure. The people voted him out because they didn't understand what he was saying there. He was not representing them because he wasn't communicating. And there's also a certain man of God who wanted to be a president in Nigeria. That man, I was told literally that people go to church with dictionaries because of the way he speaks. That one is, people will come to church to hear the word of God. People of different classes, educational qualification are coming to church and they need to come with dictionaries. So what about people who cannot read? And you see the man's impact, he's still alive, but nobody's talking about him. Because you may carry something that is massive, grace, or you are intelligent, your brand is top notch. But if you're not able to communicate the message effectively, you're going to lose your audience and your customers. So from today, go back, check your brand statement, and then see how effective you'll be marketing your brand. The language, very important. And as you work on this, watch and see, and then come and thank me later. I know that this is a tip that people pay so much to learn. I just gave it to you for free. If this video has been a blessing to you, please comment and like and share so that others can also see this video and be a part of this blessing. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's build this community together. I'm always rooting for you at the top. God bless you. Congratulations.